to be back with you once again on the India development debate right here on ET Now. I'm Supriya Srinath. Now, will the Agusta Westland chopper scam help the BJP in its comeback bid? The ruling party may have pulled a fast one at the opposition with the extradition of Christian Michel, the middleman in the 3,600 crore rupee deal for VVIP choppers. It has already taken political hues, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi claiming the credit for diplomatic coup. The Prime Minister, in a very unprecedented sort of a way at an election rally, said that Michel's grilling could put the first family of the Congress in the dock. Many believe is he preempting the investigation. In its defense, of course, the main opposition party says it was former Defence Minister A.K. Antony who ordered a CBI probe into the deal after an Italian court found that at least 30 million euros were paid as bribe by Augusta to Indian politicians for winning the deal. Not just that, the party points the finger at the BJP for scuttling a probe by a joint parliamentary panel. But the fact remains that Agusta West may have helped the BJP turn the table against the Congress, which has made the 58,000 crore rupee Rafale fighter jet deal a campaign theme. Interestingly, parallels are also being drawn between Michel and fugitive liquor baron Vijay Mallya, who is now holed up in London. The political storm over Michel's extradition and what will it mean for other white-collar crimes and those who fled this country is a big topic of discussion and debate right here on the India Development Debate this evening. I've got a stellar panel of guests right here. Aman Sinha, spokesperson of the BJP, Suleiman Khan, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Colonel Ajay Shukla, senior journalist and strategic affairs expert, and Shantanu Sen, former joint director, CBI. So thanks each one of you for joining us. And Colonel Shukla, if I will begin with you. A day after Christian Michel, who's an accused and a middleman in the VVIP chopper case, was extradited from Dubai, the Prime Minister says, and I will quote him here, that secrets will be told and the entire family is shivering. Of course, there are no prices for guessing that he's referring to the Gandhi family. Is the extradition of Christian Michel the best bet for the BJP to turn the tables on the Congress? Will Augusta help lend dull or dent the Rafale taint the Rafale narrative?
Well, Supriya, you've already seen from the Prime Minister's statements that this is clearly being weaponized as a counter Rafale strategy, perhaps to take the attention off the BJP and to put it instead, focus the spotlight on the Congress. It seems like a sort of a reasonable strategy, except when you see this in the context of a number of other things. The first thing that you have to see this in the context is due law and order process, due process in terms of law and legally proving somebody guilty. If the Prime Minister himself is appearing to prejudge the case and to pronounce Mr. Michel guilty and the Congress guilty, it may make for good politics, but it doesn't make for good optics as far as good governance is concerned. The other thing that really comes in the way of weaponizing this as a counter-Congress strategy is the fact that this has been the extradition of Mr. Michel has taken place on a government-to-government basis. This is a serious political transaction that a government enters into with another government. If it then seems that the recipient government is using this as a purely political tactic, that country, and I'm talking about the UAE, would be worried about the effect this would have on UAE Congress Party or UAE opposition relationships. And it no longer seems inconceivable to many that you would not have a non-BJP government. It seems within the realms of possibility now. So there's that too. Secondly, there are things like Mr. Mallya's extradition which are pending. And if this extradition seems to be being used for political purposes, it would impact on the extradition of Mr. Mallya, and that would also have a negative effect for India. So, you know, good short-term politics, but very poor in the long term from the governance point of view.
Okay, just give me a minute. You say it's a good short-term politics. Long-term, it is not going to be so fruitful. But very quickly, Shantanu Sen, you represent the CBI and the probe agencies here. Are we celebrating too early? We've got the man, we've got him on a plane, we've got him in India. He is the middleman, he is expected to spill the beans, quote unquote. But are we celebrating too early? Is it not the success of the prosecution or conviction that we should be setting our sight on? Because the record of our investigative agencies on that count is very, very dismal. You know, the mother of all alleged scams, 2G, everyone was acquitted. Every accused was acquitted in that scam in the administration of this government. So I'm just saying, from a prosecution, from a conviction point of view, the record is dismal. Are we celebrating too early?
We are only celebrating the extradition, nothing else. Stop right there. Extradition successfully done. 68 ME has published a list of 68 since 2002 have been extradited. From the UAE, 20 persons have been extradited. And this is the first case of a third citizen, a citizen from a third country being extradited. Should we not celebrate this? I think we should. Now, investigation is a long-drawn process. I maintain that whatever Christian James Michel says is not evidence. He is an accused. Whatever he says is tainted evidence, and unless it is corroborated, successfully corroborated by independent witnesses, then whatever he says will not stick to anybody. So that is a separate process. I wouldn't mix both. Extradition successfully done, a big thing, third country's citizen extradited, and he has given a lot of material. He got about 295 crores, 37 billion euros, which he has staked in this country, according to the evidence so far available, and that evidence has been accepted by UAE, and on that count he has been extradited. These 37 millions have been paid to bureaucrats, paid to politicians, allegedly. Now it's still an allegation. He will have to make good, or the CBI will have to make good these allegations by interrogating him thoroughly.
Okay. Shantanu Hussain, give me a minute there. I will have to intervene, and I will take this question to Suleiman Khan from the Congress party. And whatever you may say, and I will come to the substantive parts of the argument later on in the show, but whatever you may say, what Shantanu Hussain says is right. This is a big moment because our track record, forget on prosecution and conviction, even an extradition has been very, very poor. And in that sense, shouldn't the government of the day, I know you ordered a probe, and I will put that question to the BJP spokesperson in just a bit, but the reality is that the extradition is happening by the government of the day, and doesn't the government of the day on that count deserve some credit?
First and foremost, I must say, the statement which has been given by the Prime Minister that one family is very scared with the extradition of this Christian Michel, I think it's a very, the statement which is not actually a Prime Minister should make. It's like a smear campaign being unleashed, and previously also we have seen in July 2018 when he was detained and arrested in Dubai, this Christian Michel, his lawyer Miss Rosemary and his sister has given a statement that the Modi government is pressurizing Christian Michel to name and depose against UPA chairperson Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. So what is left? Is Christian Michel being made a false witness, or a false evidence being fabricated by the government to bring it to India? The question is, who initiated this inquiry? When in 2012, 2013, when reports came out in public domain, the Congress party initiated the inquiry. The Congress party handed over the case to the CBI in February 2013. The Congress party cancelled the agreement. It is the Congress party which has encashed the Indian bank guarantees of 240 crores. It is the Congress party which has taken, which has won the case of international bank guarantees of 228 million euros, some 1800 crores. So it's actually 2000 crores which the Congress party has recovered from this company, Agusta Westland, or the parent company, Finmeccanica. And later there were 3 helicopters also which were detained in India. That cost also 800 crores. So all in all, Congress party has, recovered 2900 crores.
I want to take this point across to China and see. I get your point there. You will have to bear with me now. I will take this point to Shaina NC and make her answer exactly that question. Shaina, you represent the BJP here. Thank you very much for joining us. And I know you've always been a very ardent spokesperson of the BJP. I see for no reason, and I will just say that on national television, even as I thank Shaina for joining in on behalf of her party, I don't see a reason why Aman Sinha, who was supposed to be on the show, suddenly bailed out and decides not to speak on this issue. So that to me is very baffling. But nonetheless, Shaina, I'll come to you and thank you very much once again for being with us. But the controversy over the contract came to light when Finmeccanica CEO was arrested by the Italian authorities. This was in 2013. A CBI probe was ordered. The deal was cancelled by then government, which was the UPA government. A.K. Antony was the defense minister. It was the Congress that cancelled the deal, and which is why many people are now questioning the political brownie point that is being aimed at scoring out of this one. Nobody is missing the timing. This is happening on the eve of an election. The reality is that the deal was cancelled by the UPA government. The probe was ordered by them. Shaina?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hi, Shaina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Shaina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I am just saying that the controversy over the Finmeccanica deal or the Agusta Westland deal erupted in 2013. In 2014, it was the UPA government that cancelled the deal. So in some sense, the probe had begun then. So nobody is missing the political brownie point that the BJP is trying to score out of this on the eve of an election.
Firstly, the BJP is not trying to get a brownie point. Do understand that this is the first time ever you have an extradition, and an extradition of this type of nature where there has been a bribe to the tune of 295 crores has only been possible because of the political will of the Prime Minister, and if I may say, Mr. Doval, who not only exchanged the formalities required with the Saudi Arabian government, but also the fact that there was a misappropriation which needs to be brought to light. We have seen time and again during the previous dispensation how you had cuts, bribes, and all kinds of corruption at every level. And the Augusta deal is just one case more to add to the line of wrongdoing by the previous dispensation. So I don't think this is about a brownie point. This is about exposing wrongdoing and for public at large to be assertive in a way to bring public pressure, but for the political class to show the political will that yes, the victim in this particular case is not somebody who can be spared either, because if there were corrupt practices within the bureaucracy or the political class, all stand exposed and all are guilty. So I'm glad that we have this day today where we can be discussing the Augusta deal, and for the Congress, who is constantly trying to equate it with Rafale, where there was no corruption, there is no wrongdoing, I think is a sign of insecurity.
Shaina, give me a minute. I am going to... Okay, Shaina, please give me a minute. I will have to come in there because I don't think anybody misses the point that while this deal is being talked about, there's an election around the corner. This deal was cancelled by the UPA. So whatever you may say about that dispensation, the reality is that the probe started under them. The deal was cancelled under them. But Shantanu Sen, very quickly, actually Ajay Shukla, if I may ask you this question and then I'll go to Shantanu Sen on something else. The reality is that while the CBI is doing this, it's in a turmoil itself. The industry's reputation is in tatters. The Supreme Court has today reserved a judgment on the continuation of the CBI chief and other things like that. The Prime Minister, of course, makes an electoral speech pointing to this. But are we running the risk of a probe as big as this, of an issue as big as this, being crossed in political, political warfare, so to say? The reality is that this is cross in political warfare. The outcome of many things before, whether it's the Bofors, whether it's the HW submarine or the Kargil coffin case, we did not ever get to a conclusive conviction, a conclusive prosecution. It is zilch.
Yes, you're absolutely right. There are sort of severe investigative constraints that we have had traditionally. The CBI has never, not even in the Bofors case, been able to make a case stick. There is in these cases a simple line of investigation that is required to be done, and that is the money trail. If you can establish the money trail, you will establish a guilty. If you haven't established the money trail, it becomes political rhetoric. In this case, even if the money trail has been established from Finmeccanica to Mr. Michel and to Mr. Guido Haschke and the other people involved, Carlo Gerosa, the investigative trail needs to then take that money trail from these middlemen to the officials and to the policy makers and decision makers that allegedly made money out of this deal. Now, I agree with the CBI officer on the panel that getting and successfully engineering this extradition is something that we need to congratulate ourselves for. But if we've done the extradition and then failed to make anything stick, then it would have seemed like a fruitless extradition, like somebody that was like a measure that actually was done without adequate proof. It also needs to be remembered that this deal actually took place across 3 governments. The deal began in 2001 when the requirement was first raised. It was in November 2003 that Mr. Brajesh Misra actually lowered the ceiling of the helicopter from 6,000 meters to 4,500 meters that actually allowed Agusta Westland to participate. It was Mr. Pranab Mukherjee in the next Congress government that raised the number of helicopters from 8 to 12. It was then the Congress that cancelled the deal. It was then the BJP that encashed some of the guarantees. So who is actually there to blame? This is an extremely complex investigation.
Absolutely.
And I'm reasonably sure from all that I see and hear going on around me, this will be reduced to a political name-calling game and very little will come of the actual investigation.
Precisely. No, I was just going to come up on that I wish our politicians would not reduce this through a name-calling game, because this is, you can't pin the blame on one government and absolve everybody else of it. This has happened over 3 successive governments. I wish, facts came to light, but given our track record, I don't think they will. But very quickly, if I may go to the operative parts of drawing a parallel from here. And Shaina, if I may ask you, the extradition, many people believe is reading the Riot Act to a lot of people. Shaina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Shaina, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes, I can.
The extradition, many people believe is the extradition, many people believe, is also reading the Riot Act to a lot of people who have fled the country, white-collar criminals, whether it is Vijay Mallya, whether it is Nirav Modi, whether it is Mehul Choksi, Lalit Modi. The question is that what will this extradition mean for them? Because some of these people have actually contributed to an economic mayhem in the country. As far as Agusta Westland is concerned, this is a bribery case that should be investigated upon and guilty should be brought to book. But the others have fled, creating a huge NPA crisis in the country, and it's your and my money that is being now put to revive banks to pump in good money after bad. I mean, where is the urgency to also bring them back?
So, Priyaji, where do you think is the wrongdoing? The wrongdoing is by the errant defaulters who are not going to get away scot-free. And if you read Mr. Vijay Mallya's statement saying that he wants to pay back 100% in totality, is a step in the right direction. Whether it's the Insolvency Act or the Bankruptcy Code, or for that matter, the extradition in Michel's case, I think that we need to understand that corruption is corruption, however you see it. And for the wrongdoers who believe that they could have got away scot-free with using their clout and influence, gone are the days, because Prime Minister Modi has shown the political will not once but on multiple occasions. And I'm sure that in the days to come, you will have a response from the citizens who are fugitives currently, showing desire to not just pay back, but to pay back with penalties, and that the fact that this is not a government that's going to let them just be, because the fugitive bill that has been passed and discussed in Parliament is a step in the direction to do away with all these wrongful, willful defaulters.
Okay, give me a minute. I'll go across to Shantanu Sen, and as former Joint Director CBI, I think it's only fair that you answer the question. The judgment on whether Vijay Mallya should be extradited to India or not is scheduled for Monday. My question to you really is, will this decision, will this act of bringing back, Sunemal Khan, I'm coming to you in just a bit, give me a minute. Will this act of bringing back Christian Michel have any impact on that whatsoever? And how big a thing will it be if we can actually extradite Vijay Mallya, even though, you know, there is Mehul Choksi and Nirav Modi who are fraudsters who've also fled this country?
I want to put this discussion in the proper perspective. We have had enough of name calling. Yours is a serious channel, and I wish you would discuss the proper thing and not dwell on name calling. Number one, there have been successful extraditions. CBI has been successful in a number of cases, and if you recall, the greatest one was of that shipping company, where we had that doctor, what's his name, I forget at the present moment, who was brought and extradited and punished. He took the citizen of a Latin American country. So don't call names. CBI has done its job. Yes, CBI is in a bout of trouble, serious trouble. But CBI officers have delivered in the last 77 years. It is only the last 15, 16 years that there have been some great downfall in the CBIs. Now regarding extradition, 68, I'm sorry, one of the members of the panel said it's the first extradition ever. That's so silly. There have been 68 persons extradited. And from UAE, 20 have been extradited. These are successful CBI extraditions. All extraditions are dealt with by the CBI and not by any other department. So if you have a record of 68 from 2002, can you say CBI has failed in extradition? So please don't call names. Let's discuss this properly. Now regarding Mallya's extradition, it's an important extradition. Mallya has run away with 9,000 crores. He is now whimpering. He wants to return the money, return the principal amount. If he wants to return it, why doesn't he return it straight away? Why does he seek permission to return it? He should be hauled up, and he will be extradited, I'm sure. He has seen the writing on the wall. This is another successful operation by the CBI. And he will be brought to trial in this country. James Christian Michel is a middleman.
Okay, Shantanu says it's an important...
properly interrogated, I'm sure he will be.
I'm sorry, I'll have to jump in there. Okay. Shantanu Sen, give me a minute. I have to go across to the Congress party, and a quick last word to you, because you are going to be at the receiving end of the charges being made, and many people believe this is political heat being turned on you. The reality is that if this is going to, tell the other fugitives that your time's up and you will be extradited back to India to face the law of the land, people like Vijay Mallya, can you deny that would have served a good purpose?
I'll just say two things, then the Vijay Mallya. You know, this in Agusta Westland deal, about from cancelling the deal and initiating CBI inquiry by the Congress government, we have also proposed a JPC, but BJP backed out and they refused to cooperate. Apart from that, it is because of the Congress efforts that this company, Agusta Westland, has been blacklisted. And what BJP did? They have taken an opinion from the Attorney General in August or July 2014, and they have undo the blacklisting, and they have given the clearance from Foreign Investment Promotion Board, FIPB. And they are also, allowing Agusta to bid for other 100 naval utility helicopters in partnership with Indian corporates. So it is the BJP and the Modi government who are allowing the blacklisted company to get clearance from FIPB and allowing Agusta to bid for the other defense deals. So the simple question is, when will the CBI investigate the Modi-Augusta nexus and the quid pro quo?
All right.
This is the question. As far as Mallya is concerned, the Mallya is concerned, I must say, who allowed Mallya to run away? He met Arun Jaitley on 1st of March. He ran away on 2nd of March. Extradition is a long drawn process.
Arun Jaitley has denied that.
So
I will not let you get into a political mudslinging. I think I've completely run out of time. Okay, Suleiman Khan, you made your point, but I can't go on with this show. I think we've completely run out of time here. The substantive points that are being made by Ajay Shukla and Shantanu Sen as far as the merits of this case is concerned and what should come to light. This has happened over the course of 3 governments. It is not as if this has happened only in the tenure of UPA. It was actually back in the Vajpayee government when the whole deal began. The UPA cancelled it. The BJP, like Ajay Shukla pointed out very categorically and correctly here, the BJP did encash the guarantees. Where does the truth lie, and what will happen to this is going to be a test of CBI and our investigative agency's ability to prosecute and convict, and that is where the success of this case will lie. Is this reading the riot act to other fugitives? Well, if it is, then so be it, because it's high time they face the Indian law and return to repay what they truly own to our country and to the treasuries. Thank you very much for being with us. We take a quick breather. Up next is Top 10 at 10.